It was a packed house inside the UN Security Council chamber on Tuesday. Several foreign ministers participated in the debate on the ongoing crisis in Gaza. Against the backdrop of Israel's military actions there, a mounting death toll and an escalating humanitarian crisis, many member states once again called for the war to end. But the overwhelming call was for a two-state solution, with the UN Secretary General saying any refusal to accept a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestinian conflict must be firmly rejected.
A lasting end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict can only come through a two-state solution. Israelis must see their legitimate needs for security materialized, and Palestinians must see their legitimate aspirations for a fully independent, viable and sovereign state realized in line with United Nations resolutions, international law and previous agreements. Israel's occupation must end.
Any discussion of a post-war arrangement for Gaza that deviates from the two-state solution is tantamount to building a house on quicksand. The most important thing right now is to stop further eroding the foundations of the two-state solution.
Addressing the council here in New York, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the observer state of Palestine said the ongoing war is a premeditated effort to inflict maximum pain on the Palestinian population. He has called for an international peace conference with a clear objective of implementing UN resolutions.
The international consensus on two states in this land must be upheld in word and deed. There can be no more pretext for endless delay and obstruction. The disregard for Palestinian life, for international law, for the regional and international will to bring about just and lasting peace should no longer be tolerated. We are running out of time.
But Israel once again defended the conflict. Israeli Ambassador Gilad Erdan said if Hamas turned in those responsible for the October 7th attacks on Israel and returned the hostages, the war would end right away. While serious debate took place about a two-state solution in the Middle East, with Israel and Palestine living side by side, many member states expressed alarm at the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza and the suffering of the people of Palestine, with many continuing the call for an immediate ceasefire. Jody, CGTN, New York.
Dezhi is monitoring developments inside the halls of the UN. Dezhi.
Yes, Elaine, after a few weeks of post-holiday emptiness, the UN headquarters here finally went back to a full schedule of meetings. This Tuesday, Security Council President France held its signature event, an open debate on the situation in Gaza. Since a handful of foreign ministers came to New York for this event, I asked Sergei Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, how U.S. policy on Middle East contributed to the current situation. And here is his answer.
You mentioned a lot about your U.S. colleagues' words and actions on Middle East. What do you think? How much does the U.S. foreign policy on Middle East contributes to current situation in Middle East? Thank you.
The influence of the United States on the Middle East, as they say, we'll deal with this ourselves. And the same with Palestine-Israel conflict. They ended the quartet, they disbanded the quartet of the Middle East mediators, and they took everything into their own hands. We see what this resulted in. This is just another example of a situation where, as a result of the U.S. leadership, we see tragedy take place.
Also, during his visit, a Russian cargo plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners for exchange was downed, according to Mr. Lavrov, by Ukraine missiles. This is why Lavrov also called for an emergency meeting on this issue. Mr. Lavrov was 40 minutes late for the press conference, but we did ask him whether he's meeting with Trump's team, and he said no.
And I was wondering whether you've had a chance in the last couple of days to meet up with former President Donald Trump or with members of his campaign team.
Have you already written an article about it?
Not yet.
Thank God, because I haven't met with him.
In Gaza, Ukraine, it seems the two crises still dominated the agenda, but there are also other issues like Haiti. The Security Council has adopted a resolution endorsing a multinational force in Haiti, yet the country that is willing to send police officers, Kenya, is still waiting for the court ruling as we record this segment. Security Council had a meeting on Haiti as well. What is UN's expectation for the deployment?
This multinational support force is needed quickly, and we encourage member states to support its deployment as quickly as possible.
Say if this request has been denied by the court in Kenya, do you have plan B?
Well, it is not, I mean, as we've said repeatedly here, it is a force that will operate under a Security Council resolution. It is not a force that is being assembled or managed by the Secretariat, right, by the Peacekeeping Department. But it is, Haiti needs help, and it needs help quickly, and we hope that member states who can contribute in kind or in cash do so.
Entering February next week, the Security Council president will be Guyana, and we will see what's unfolding in February. But one thing is for sure, Middle East will still be the top priority of the UN's agenda. Elaine.
Dezhi, thanks.